Welcome everyone to Price Action Live at Traders Post for September 12th, 2025. I'm one of your traders, Tom Hartman, alongside Mike NQ Sniper Christensen, co-founder and CSO of Traders Post. Up to 4 days a week at Price Action Live, we trade in front of you using the advanced trade execution engine known as Traders Post, the epic software that upgrades your trading. So whether trading stocks, futures, options, or crypto, Traders Post has got you covered. And today, we're trading prop firm accounts. Mike, September 12th, as everyone knows, is my anniversary. So it should be a national holiday for everybody. You guys can all take one trade on the house. The birth of our amazing love.
Oh, that's cute. How many years now?
5 years.
5 years. Congrats, man.
If it makes any difference, I forgot it was our anniversary. So
everyone should know except for Tom.
There is not a huge amount of catalyst today for news. Are there in the reports category? Do you know if we have a bunch of earnings coming out that we should be paying attention to?
Not for Friday here. It's all pretty much smaller cap companies, mid cap companies. So nothing huge that would move the NASDAQ. And even if it did, it would have already happened. Usually the earnings reports come out before market open or after. I do see that we've got the Michigan Consumer Sentiment preliminary report coming out in 42 minutes. So that could have a little bit of an impact.
What about that Oracle jump? What did it went from?
Excuse me.
It got from 240 to 307. Actually went all the way up to 350.
Wow.
It gained like 300 billion in market cap in in the overnight. I saw it online. Yeah. It's some deal they had with OpenAI. They're making some deal with OpenAI. I thought that was amazing. People were calling that as like, we're in the 90s, folks. We're in 99. Where the crash will come, but people who shorted the NASDAQ from 99 to 2001 made no money.
Yep. I still find that comparison so frustrating because the businesses that were publicly traded back then didn't even have earnings yet. We have a thriving base of very profitable companies that drive the S&P and the NASDAQ. So I think it's just kind of silly to make the .com comparison. That was a growth at all cost moment in which top line revenue growth was more important than earnings.
So they've been making that point, or some analysts have been making that point on, CNBC, Bloomberg, CNN, all that stuff, that it's like, because of, it's not the paper, like you could have a .com, the story is that you can have like a .com registered, you'd be two guys inside your parents' basement, and you can have a $100 million valuation on the NASDAQ. That's what's happening now, which means, or it suggests, that this rally, could just keep going, just absolutely keep going. And it's so hard to argue with when you look at the charts, long-term charts for equities, especially high beta tech. It's basically a straight line up. Like, where are these pullbacks? There hasn't been any major pullback, like significant pullback, since the global financial crisis.
Yeah. It's a good observation. You and I have done it on one of our shows before as well, that pullbacks in general are forming faster and less severe V-shaped recoveries than ever before in the S&P history. And a lot of that, I think, is, to be candid, fueled by our trading, retail trading. Every story I hear of new traders these days starts with the same thing. Well, I got a check in COVID and I had nothing else to do during COVID, so I started trading. That's the theme. We all started trading in 2020, unless you were lucky enough to get involved in markets prior to that. I started investing somewhere around 2012, 2011, probably way too late in the game for me. I was busy building businesses, but got actively involved in investing in 2012, but didn't really start trading until the crypto boom in 2016 and 2017. That's what brought me into the field. But I think that the retail involvement in trading is driving markets more than ever before. And that buy the dip mentality, I think, is showing up in all kinds of markets, including the S&P 500.
one thing that was drilled into my head from
Not
Mike
to mention
Green.
the Fed's involvement, and we know how good of a job they are at printing money.
Absolutely. What's been drilled in my head is this idea, because I started trading in 2018
Okay.
with the expecting a recession to occur. So expecting these boom bust cycles, and I did make money on the recessionary call. But then I was totally wrong of how long it would last, and I thought it would be one of those multi-year recessions and all that, and nothing like that happened. And so Mike Green from Simplify Asset Management Tier 1 Alpha, he's pioneered this idea of passive investment as one of these vehicles within the markets. They're like forced buyers when unemployment is low, and there's money flowing in from 401ks, from people allocating every week, every month, sight unseen to the market. Then you have this force that is buying assets without any price discrimination. They're not setting in their monthly paycheck, whatever 10% of the monthly paycheck, going only buy if there's a dip of 5%. Like, that's not happening. Whereas the asset managers were doing that. They wanted to get good deals. They want to buy it when it's on sale or whatever. And so you have this flow of money that comes into the market that just buys. It just immediately buys, which dislocates the price higher and higher and higher, makes it harder for asset managers to get back in if they sell their position, and makes the next purchase that much higher still. And so in around 2012, I think it was, the number of passive investing flows outpaced the active money managers, which means you had to steady buying as long as the unemployment rate stayed low. And wouldn't you know it, we had the lowest unemployment rate for the longest stretch of time for like 10 years. And so until the unemployment rate significantly ticks up, where it literally affects the amount of flows that are going into Vanguard funds, into passive investment funds, markets are going to go up. But if that turns and the unemployment rate jumps up too drastically and people pull back, where they're forced sellers, then you have that same mechanism to the downside, where you would have you can have a 80% down market in 2 weeks if the right conditions are met. But until that happens, up and to the right, baby. Up and away.
Up and to the right.
All right, so we got markets opening up in 7 minutes. Taking a look at what happened overnight for NASDAQ. We're getting the same sort of effect across all these different assets, all these equity assets. They're drifting upwards. It's literally the upward pattern since the lows of September. And it's just been up and to the right. We're not even pulling back to some of these key moving averages, these longer term moving averages. We're just rising. So unless there's some catalyst, we have a resistance level here at all-time highs for NASDAQ. But if I'm not mistaken, SPY had already made all-time highs, right? Yeah, SPY had already made all-time highs. Well, yesterday. Was it yesterday?
I thought it was at 1,300, which would have been right at the electronic. But yeah, we've already made it.
Yeah, close. You're right. We haven't. It would have been last night, but the candle high, at least on futures, was yesterday 2 p.m. And so I was watching CNBC, and they're just sitting there scratching their heads. They're like, "But the jobs numbers are so bad." You're like, "Yep." So Fed's gonna cut, and they're gonna come in with the money printer, and we're good to go. We're off to the races.
Thanks.
So my bias is now to the upside. I don't see any catalyst today. If there is going to be a downside here for downside level on a technical basis for NASDAQ, I have here my level is at I don't have any level until 23,659. 23,659 is near the, what's this one? This is the 3-month volume weighting moving average. Yeah, so 23, let's call it 23,645, 23,660. That would be the downside risk, which to me is super far away. And then after that, it's just blue skies. Do you have any levels that you're looking at nearby?
Yeah, let's take a look at NQ since that's going to be the main instrument here. There just hasn't been any kind of retracement that was significant during this window here, other than the Friday, September 5th candle on the 2-hour chart. So I'm just watching the rest of this move here. But I think if I were to measure the fib extension from the June 22nd low to the all-time high that was printed in August, and then what little retrace occurred from there, I think the next stop here is somewhere around 24,270, potentially. But otherwise, it's look out above. I mean, there's not a lot of headwinds unless we start seeing negative earning reports coming up here.
Right. All right. My nearest, or there is one level here that's like short term for today on the downside would be 23,996. I didn't see that level there. So 23,996 could hit there. In fact, if we hit that level, I'd be going long real hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we're about to hit NQ's all-time high today. So that'll be fun to watch. I'm sure that might happen today. I still have support at roughly 24,000. So we'll keep an eye on that level. But if it does fall today, I would expect the first stop to be around 23,900. Let's see what the options market is saying. We've got a range of 24,100 and 23,885.
885. Okay, so all the way down to the weekly VWAP.
Yep, right at S1 where I just mentioned. So they're looking at roughly the same range I had just mentioned. I had a little bit higher of a potential price target, but they're not. This is the range the option market expects. Expected move is about 45 basis points. Not a huge move today. Volatility is going to remain low. And the VIX right now is coming in at 14. So I don't see much negativity here today. If we have any moves today, they're probably going to be pretty small, fairly tempered. So I'm gonna do something different this morning as well. Once the market opens here in 2 minutes, I'm gonna put on a few different trades and show you guys how I'm constructing and setting them up. The first trade is going to be a gold trade, which I want to set up to enter long gold, and it's going to have a trailing stop attached to it of 5 points, and the take is 20 points away. So it's a fairly big move for gold. It's going to take a while to get to 20 points, or it won't hit at all. I'm expecting just the trailing stop will just chase after it if I'm right about the long. I'm going to keep that running while I trade NQ. I'm also going to put on a position for ES at the same time as well. But I want to watch what happens around VWAP for that one. So I'm going to try to kind of run a few different trades simultaneously here.
So on the same chart, is a different drawing. Sorry, you're going to be switching between charts. You're not going to be triggering them from the same chart.
That's right. Yep. So I'm going to trade a micro gold contract from the GC chart and a micro ES contract from the ES chart. And then we'll trade a couple different approaches here on NQ at the same time as well. All right, that's our candle open. Lots of buying right off the bat. We might actually, we barely just hit the all-time high there.
We are using Traders Post to connect our accounts together, prompt firm accounts together, which is fantastic. We get to scale our successes.
Interesting. Gold falling.
Bitcoin falling.
Okay, I'll give this a few minutes for gold as well. Interesting move on NQ.
Look at that candle. Well, I am not going to presuppose anything here.
Yep, I'm going to give it a minute here.
Shifty move.
Well, we had a small gap to fill here, but not much. This is kind of an irrelevant gap, but it looks like the market's trying to fill it regardless. About halfway already.
Wow. Look at that.
This is the second candle of the 1 minute. I think I'll put a small scalp trade on here. See if we can fill this gap for, oh, maybe not. We'll see.
Look at that.
Just a tiny scalpy trade right off the bat. And then I'll start looking at gold here. All right, so gold's finally moving up. Let's go ahead and trigger this long. All right, there it is. So on my screen here, I now have an MGC position. And let me move to the chart here to show you what the structure looks like. So this one has that much higher expected take profit, but then this is a trailing stop that I've set up in the alert that will just trail by 5 points on gold. So we can see if that trade plays out. I'm not even going to look at that one. I'll just come back to it later.
That's hitting the ball, expecting the home run, and just walk across the bases.
Yep. All right. So far, so good on this little scalp on NQ. We've got 4 candles in, and it looks like we're trying to potentially fill that little gap. Haven't filled it yet, though. But we barely wicked off the all-time high. All right, let's put another little position on. I'd like to keep an eye on ES. I want to see a full candle close above or below VWAP here, and then I'll throw on a long or a short for 1 micro contract.
The fight is real this morning. Let's see.
Yeah, we're moving for it. All right, P&L is active. We've got the 2 positions running still. I'm up $10 on gold and $10 on M&Q. Interesting sign if gold continues up from here. That might be a sign here that maybe we touch the top here for NQ.
Sell off into the weekend, I guess that could be.
Maybe. It is Friday. We've got some options expiries today. All right, no complete candle close yet on ES, so I'm going to come back to that one. So far, so good on this scalp short on NQ. I don't know if I'm ready to call this a position yet, though. I've been making that mistake every open for the last several sessions, and I think I'm going to wait to see a retrace and a rejection off of VWAP before I'm ready to get short. I'm going to try to avoid this and just stick with these scalping trades for now. Right. Tired of being in the red, Tom.
I'm pretty comfortable in the red, actually. I find that's my problem. Does not keep me up at night.
Oh, gold's starting to turn against me now. It's all right. We've got the NQ position going well. We just took profits on that trade. And so the open position you see here that's down $6 is the remaining gold trade. Let's go take a look at what that one looks like. It's kind of potentially making its way back up. We'll see if gold can make its way above VWAP again and then put us back in profit. Let's look at where ES is at. Still just straddling VWAP. It looks like it's trying to go short.
Yikes.
That's interesting. It could be a lower high here printed at 65.93. That's a pretty bearish candle right there. All right, so we filled the gap on NQ, and this is the retrace I would like to see to get short into a position for NQ.
Bouncing just underneath the EVWAP. Oh, it's got a long signal on the 1 minute.
You got a long signal on NQ?
Tiny long signal here, yeah.
Got it. Interesting. It looks like the dollar found support there at 97.5, and it looks like it's rising. Back to ES. It's trying to close below VWAP. We're not quite there yet. Gold is turning against me. Here's the trailing stop set there at 36.84. So if that one gets triggered, I'll automatically be out of the gold position.
I see.
Fortunately, I don't have to pay that close of attention to it.
The bounce that we're seeing at the bottom left of the screen, that's taken into account gold as well, right?
Correct. Yeah, that's the open gold position. So you can see it's now back up. And NQ wants to go for it. I'm going to try a couple more scalpy trades here. I'll put on a couple more micro scalp positions. And then, again, I want to wait for a retrace back to VWAP before I'm ready to build a position out.
VWAP's at what price?
Session VWAP on NQ is currently at 24,032.
32. Okay.
Slightly above EVWAP. All right, ES is now showing signs of closing below. So I'm going to go ahead and put that sell order on. Let's create the alert. We've got a 50-point take and a 50-point stop. Let's just let that one run for a while.
All right, another mini bounce signal at 2,400.
All right, I'm going to put the order on for ES. Great. So now opening my positions, I'm short 1 MES, long 1 gold, short 1 M&Q. And now that I have those other positions open, I'm just going to pay attention to the NQ chart and let the other ones just do their thing.
You'll let me know how it feels to have a couple of plates spinning in your mind, how that feels.
Well, I think that's kind of the point here is I wanted to make sure that I set up a bracketed order for both gold and for ES so that I don't really have to pay attention to them. They're just going to execute according to the plan. And I can just put my focus on NQ.
But does it have any emotional pull on you if those positions are in profit or not?
Not really, because they're small enough to where I'm not too worried about the profit or loss.
I see. All right, that might have been the pullback.
Yeah, if that was it, then I've already kind of missed it.
Oh, looks like you're getting another chance. $24.21 is EVWAP.
Now gold's going for it. We're in profit there.
I've been very happy with my overnight Bitcoin. Compared to NASDAQ, it's so easy.
Bitcoin's been really interesting. Where do you think the next big move is on Bitcoin? Looking at let's go look at the daily chart.
It's going on a short squeeze. So the next level, if it doesn't turn here and fall lower, the next level's at 120,000 or 119.9, and it can get there today.
Yeah.
What are the shorts?
Or at least over the weekend, maybe.
Well, I call Saturdays sideways Saturdays for Bitcoin because it hardly ever moves. So then it would have to be Sunday, and that's a hard move to make. Right now we had $20 billion worth of shorts versus $100 million worth of longs on the exchanges. Now we're down to 9 billion short. So like they're getting liquidated. And then the longs are now up to 700. So there's 7 times more longs than were before. This is the first time I've seen this ratio this high. That means that's like bullish intent, full on bullish intent coming into the markets.
Gotcha.
Which we haven't seen in like a year. So if you get a 9% up, yeah.
I want to start my short here. This is a nice rejection below VWAP. I might be getting started a little too early, but let's see. My gold position's looking good now. So gold started to head up. We've got that trailing stop that'll keep following by 5 points.
Yeah, gold's looking pretty sweet.
All right, let's see if we can get a candle to close below VWAP here in the next 41 seconds. We are looking at the 15-minute chart here. We got a minute 37 left. It looks like it wicked off the all-time high, and it's a pretty bearish candle at this point. So I'm feeling confident that I might be right about this being the potential rejection area, which puts us potentially moving back down towards to the $23,900 level, which is what the options market was anticipating as well.
Right.
I want to move, but you know, Tom, I've been getting denied by the markets lately. No follow through is happening, so I'm very hesitant about my trend trading and trying to focus just on the scalping as much as I can. But I'm going to give this one a try, and I'll keep the stop pretty tight on it. Let me look at the M&Q chart so you guys can actually see the structure of the current trades. We have 2 scalp trades open at the moment with a buy stop set slightly above. One of those M&Qs is the initial position of my short, and I might be wrong on that one. Here we go again with a bounce around VWAP. So the one scalp trade just took a loss. And now what I'm going to do is watch to see if we close above VWAP, which would invalidate my short. Let's check the comments here. How you guys doing? Are you long or short this morning? Are we going to try to trade all-time highs? It's definitely a difficult zone to do so.
Yeah, I should have went for the chat indicator. I want to know what everyone else is doing. Well, that is some steady bullish move there.
Still short on the MES. It's looking okay. I see the new bull candle above VWAP here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I thought for sure we would hit 23,996, and we were just shy of that. I guess that psychological level of 24,000 was enough of a bounce.
It could be, and I was kind of anticipating that as well. That was support from yesterday as well. Let's give it a moment.
Ooh, sell signal on the 1 minute. Let's see if that follows through. I don't think so. I think we're going up.
All right, so first part of the opening candle here on the 15-minute shows, we're trying to close below this 8 EMA, and yesterday's high was also serving as resistance prior to the open. So let's keep an eye on it here. It's possible that we could still close below VWAP. Might just need to post a lower high.
I'd believe the lower high if we reverse around 24.44. Anything lower than that, to me, would actually be a bullish dip. I tried my thing yesterday of, hey, after 12 o'clock, do we get the trend for the rest of the day? And it was sideways action. That didn't work out.
Bummer.
Stop. But the Bitcoin position just makes me feel, it just cuts into, it's such a bomb. It's all right. Whatever I lose on the prop firm accounts doesn't even compare.
Oh, bummer. All right, so I took the loss on the micro gold contract, so down $15 on that one. But we still have the short open on MES and MNQ. And I'm going to look for a place to add here if I'm right about the continuation. So far, that's showing a little bit of a sign that that could have been the lower high.
I need to see that price. Oh, yeah, it needs to be below the VWAP. Because right now it's just like, let's see here. What's ES doing? Yeah, they both seem bullish to me. But I can't tell.
Well, this is why I'm keeping risk really small here, because I'm not entirely sure where we're going just yet. I don't know, Tom. This could be resistance here. Now, if I get a candle close below VWAP, will you believe me?
Well, what's suspicious to me is the wicks on the first 15-minute candle for the open are pretty much equal on both sides. So it's like, okay, we didn't really get any decisive follow through. I get that the first 15-minute candle here is opening up lower, but oh, look at that! It is below VWAP now, barely
Bounced off of it, and we just opened a new 1 minute candle below VWAP. So I want to keep
it's
an
this
eye on
candle here that tells me, because if we're bouncing off this level,
then it's just a temporary bounce off of VWAP.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with you, and that could be the case. So let me show the regression path here. If this is the reversal candle, it hasn't invalidated this long yet. So you're absolutely correct. I need to see a break of this price point here at 24,022 in order to gain some confidence.
I just got a buy signal on the 15-minute.
Interesting.
And
okay.
on the 5. Yeah.
Right off the 55 EMA. We're way above weekly VWAP too. And this was, it should be resistance here, right at where we're at. We're in the middle of the band, which is why this is gray right now. So I'm still kind of neutral. Obviously, having shorts open is going to make me biased towards short, but I'm ready to flip directions at any point. I just need to see a post above or below VWAP as usual.
I love the honesty of that.
I'm going back to ES. It's also just flopping around VWAP here. So,
oh, look at that. It's breaking lower. But do we get the close? 30 seconds.
Okay, starting to get into profit here.
And oh my God.
This is the choppy price action I am used to. Thanks a lot, markets.
Look at that.
Drives me nuts. So what? This is a long after all?
Yeah, that's
we're measuring this out.
That's what it looks like to me.
So it bounced right off. It looks like it's trying to invalidate that reversal. Let's keep an eye though. We got to post a new high here.
That's right. whenever I'm to the point where I'm deciding should I just think about close values or high low values, I know I'm in the wrong I'm in the wrong position.
All right, yeah, MES is doing the same.
It wants to go up. It wants to go up.
Let's go back and take a look at what's happening with gold. Oh, are you kidding me? I just got stopped out too soon. I'm going to throw on another.
You're doing a long or short on gold?
It's a long on gold. It's just
Okay.
a micro long, and I'm just going to trail by 5 points again. I want to try to restart that position since it looks like it just tried to post above VWAP there. And now NQ's trying to come back and flop around the other direction. Okay, so I am short 1 MES, short 2 MNQ, long 1 MGC, and I'm right on all of them. Let's see if we can move all of this into profit now.
What you need is a bigger position size. That's how you do it.
I'll add when we get more signal here. That's why I'm keeping it real small, real tight. All right, this candle's determining right here. 24 seconds. Let's see where this closes. And I might start adding here as we go. I am going to throw another scalp trade on because it's going to take points pretty quickly.
To be fair, the last 3 sessions, the price did wick down to the weekly VWAP.
Yeah.
And so the odds are in your favor that we get down there.
We've got some room, a solid 130 points down to weekly VWAP. So I would love for that to happen. That gives me a little bit of room to work with, and it puts us back at S1, which was where I'm anticipating price can go. Now, I'm used to this choppiness now. I've finally gotten to a point where I'm accepting that the markets are going to be choppy. So it's going to be weird about getting there. It's not going to happen right away, and I'm accepting that.
It's going to be weird about getting there.
Hello, my name is Mike, and I'm a trend follower. It's been at least a week since I've last seen a trend on the markets.
Lordy. So are you going to, you took a trade last night at Open, in the overnight session. What made you do that then? Because you don't normally do the overnight.
I don't normally do that, but there was just enough volume at the open, and we had already hit resistance from the previous day that I felt pretty confident that there was at least 20 points of take, and sure enough, there was. It took almost 3 hours for the trade to execute, though, and I just set it and forgot it and just let it do its thing, and I got an alert that it had taken profits.
So is that something you'll do more of?
Maybe if we're at extremes, right? So like looking at the 2-hour chart, if we're at a resistance area and it's pretty clear that this is a major resistance level on the higher time frame, and we're closed below the electronic VWAP, then I'd say that's a pretty good trade, especially for how small it was. This was just a $40 trade. You know, I had $40 of loss, $40 of take. All right, gold is now trying to go for it, but it just keeps bouncing around its own VWAP. At least I'm in profit on that trade again. M&Q has been the tough one here, though. We can't get it closed below or above VWAP just yet.
The Dixie's starting to fall.
All right, ES is really starting to push now.
Yeah. There's the bull move.
I see it. I'm ready to exit all of my positions here in just a moment. I've got the stop set at the high candle on the other side. Just Flow left a comment. Looks like NQ is going for 24K level. Yeah, it looked like it there for a minute, didn't it?
Well, we were already there, so.
Yeah, it bounced off of it. Comment came in at 753, though, after it had already done that. Okay, so we're back up at yesterday's high, where we found resistance from the open.
So if it's going to turn here, it's where it would turn.
This is where you think you'd go short?
Yeah, it's if this was going to be a lower high, this is exactly where I think it would be. But I do have bullishness on the 15. And the dollar is starting to fall. Oil is pulling back. This is usually good for equities.
Man, that was very bullish.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at my other automated strategy. This one's on ES. Let's go back to M&Q. Yeah, still waiting for a full candle close above VWAP there on the 5-minute for that strategy. Okay, it's almost engulfing here on the 15-minute, but maybe this is resistance again.
Well, look at those wicks on the. At this level, we've been getting a bunch of wicks on these candles, but it could still. Yeah, look at that. It's trying to push for this level, so there's some resistance over here at 24.44.
Yep.
Plus, this 15-minute candle is a. Nope, we have 2 minutes left, so we'll see. Oh, a sell signal is starting to develop, so I say we pull back to 24.31 and then we move up steadily. I think the down is over. Plus, we were in overbought territory before on the 15, on the 1 minute. Let's see what the other time frames are like. Yeah, there's room to the upside.
So you're still long?
Oh, I'm not in any position. But I would expect a little bit of a pullback to 24.31 and then off to the races to the upside.
Okay.
But what does that mean for gold? Shouldn't gold fall?
Yeah, that's the interesting thing. Gold just keeps dancing around its own VWAP still. I would like to see it push away here and move upward, but...
Yeah, Bitcoin up, dollar down, equities up, gold down. Why would gold go up? I don't know the idiosyncrasies of these assets on Fridays, now that I think about it. Is the sell-off, does that happen? Oh yeah, look at that pullback on NASDAQ to even get to the 15-minute VWAP. I'm not trying to push further.
Still heavy resistance here, though. Wow.
Whoa.
All right, so that was the news that we've been waiting for. That was the Michigan consumer sentiment. It came in slightly lower than anticipated.
So bullish. That's a bold move then. Wow, that wick's enough to ruin a lot of people's days.
Long on gold is unwavering, and my shorts are starting to look a little bit better now. Remember, I've remained short MES this whole time.
Yeah. All right, Michigan 1-year inflation expectations. What did it come in at? Let's see.
And I took profits. I was able to take profit on one of my scalps there with that wick that fell.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually executed that order. You didn't see it happen in the background here, but one of them actually executed. I see the exit there on the chart.
That's
here,
awesome.
I'd like to see the other one go because I have one more open now.
No, we're not going much lower than 23.32. This is bullish. If it's bad news on Michigan consumer expectations, that's what the market wants. It wants that Fed to cut.
Gold's starting to rise.
Yeah, the odds for probability of a cut just increased by 20 basis points. Let's see, with the poly market. Oh.
92.4.
92.4, yeah.
What an interesting candle, though. I mean, at least I picked up one little scalp there.
Now the 15-minute VWAP's at 24.04, so support is rising. And my 1 minute just turned to a bullish trend. So did the 15 and the 2 hour. And so by Murphy's Law, the price should collapse.
I was going to say, just when you think everything is going long, that's when it goes short. Welcome to this choppy environment.
Yeah, that first 15-minute candle promised indecisiveness, and that's what we're getting.
But this resistance here at 046, 24.046 is seemingly consistent. We can't seem to.
It's gonna get chewed out. It's gonna get chewed out. We're going up.
All right,
we're going up.
I have one scalp left to exit on, which is about to. If it breaks here, then I'll exit out of that one. I'm going to remain short on MES. I'm still long on GC. Let's take a little scalp long on NQ here.
Bitcoin's moving up. Yes. Thank you, Bitcoin. I just love all-time highs. I wonder what it must have been like to trade in the late 80s or whatever, 70s. It couldn't have been like this.
These guys would have been like, what sorcery is this?
Just crazy moves up, just constantly.
What do you mean you don't look at the ticker tape on a green screen?
And us, if the market goes down, our generation, if the market goes down 2%, we're screaming our hair is on fire.
Buy the dip.
And back then, if the market dropped 10%, fine. Just a regular Tuesday. Up, up, and away.
All right, so I'm going to remain pretty flat here, most likely. Only because I'm now essentially somewhat hedged by two correlated pairs. I am short MES and long MNQ, and I'd like to see if we're going to continue here and move upward to test the all-time high for this little scalp I'm in on NQ. But I'm still anticipating that sellers may still show up here. So I'm going to hold the MES position and my gold position while I'm working on this NQ position. So I have one in each. Short MES, long gold, long MNQ. Let's see what happens.
To be fair, in a bunch of previous sessions, when we got to this overbought level on the 2 hour, and then the RSI dipped below its signal, we had massive sell-offs to the weekly VWAP.
We did. We're not in overbought territory yet, though. This is still pretty much in the middle on both the 5 and the 15 minute.
Yes,
so there's some room for upside.
God, I love markets. I love markets with all my heart. Rewards you for your own attention. Would that my children were that way.
Still break even on NQ. Interestingly, gold is pulling back now, of course. It's pretty sideways here from its open.
Yeah, gold is, I mean, full on oscillating around
Mm-hmm.
EVWAP. I don't know the character of gold during intraday sessions. Does it trend usually? Well, you're
Usually,
not even looking for a trend. You're looking for a scalp.
a small one, but I am actually trying to trend more on gold than anything. My stop is pretty tight on it though.
Yeah, I guess you're right. It does trend during the session.
Doesn't this just feel like resistance to you, Tom?
It feels like it's chewing through the resistance.
Yeah. I mean,
It's the time it's taken to do it.
Yeah, if we can eat through the other side of the book, I'm with you. Let's go check my order book.
Yeah, I was just about to say, let's see your thing.
Strategy. Let's see what's happening over here. So there's a lot going on this chart, but essentially this is every tick on NQ. And I have an order book imbalance ratio here, which is showing me when there's a lot of buy side or sell side pressure on the bid ask. And it's based on the matched trades, not based on what's on the level 1 DOM. So it's kind of a proxy for order book imbalance because it's only based on the matched trades. That said, gives me a sense of how much buy pressure might be showing up here and the velocity of these trades. And each time we hit that potential resistance area, I actually see some buying on the other side. So I think you're right. As I look at some of the volume of these buys, somebody's buying 11, 12, 13 contracts NQ every time we get to that resistance area.
Yep, so it's chewing through the sellers.
That indicator of mine is so intense. I can hear the fans go crazy in my PC because it's just so much data. I really got to get book map set up because I think that would be way more efficient.
When I get to the point where you won't feel like you're really trading unless you hear that fan going. Bullish. Oh yeah, Bitcoin. Come on. You know you want to get up there. Come on, get to 119. Just keep pushing. Liquidate these shorts.
All right, this is interesting. It looks like NQ's going for it now. We've eaten through the other side of the book, and now we're pushing for the all-time high.
Yeah, 24.64. Close above that. It's a new dawn.
A new dawn and a new day. So no trades for you today, Tom?
I blew the account.
Gotcha. Well, that is a relatable experience, my friend. All right, so we're up on MNQ. We're up a little bit on gold, pretty much flat on gold. MES is down $40. We're going to hold that short on MES because I'm still anticipating that we could hit a high and then retrace. But it's been one of those things where I'm just trying to keep a position for the duration of the session. And it looked correct on the short, but now it's been invalidated. And my stops are on way on the other side. I think I'm going to hold it because I'm still anticipating we can hit some resistance here at 6,600.
Really? Huh.
It's just the 1 micro. And I'll be able to oversize it if things start to really look bullish on NQ. I might even be able to wait for it to come back into profit or at least break even.
Right.
Okay, now gold's moving.
Yeah, the dollar is decisively breaking. Oh, you think it found a floor? Because the
Maybe.
futures is
At
falling.
97.67 again. If we're looking at the 15-minute chart for the dollar, it has been bouncing off of these moving averages at higher lows each time.
So here, like I'll show my chart. Once the dollar, so it does that bouncing. Then when it gets into this convergence area of these volume weighted moving averages, then it makes a decisive move. And so usually I look for 3 bounces and then the move.
Gotcha.
So I would actually expect it to just continue lower here, that the dollar's done being up, because the long-term trend here is that we have lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Yeah, so I would expect the dollar to be breaking 96.9 by next week.
What is this here, Tom?
One more time.
NQ starting to fall.
Would you look at that? Wow. Well, it's got to close below 24.32 for me to think it's going down to VWAP. This to me, it's just the doji on the 15-minute.
Okay. Let's see if this is another invalidated reversal. It's getting stronger.
What is this candle pattern on the 15? What is that? Wow. What's SPY doing? SPY's also pulling back. I don't believe this pullback.
Okay, we're coming back to VWAP here on NQ. We're almost there. I want to watch this reversal now, which is now broken outside of the previous regression trend. I have a couple of scalp trade, or one scalp trade on right now, but I'm expecting it to go below VWAP for me to see the profit on that one.
Okay, if it's going to bounce, it's going to bounce here.
And here. And here. Oh, shoot. Okay, this is looking stronger for me taking the other side.
I would not be adding here.
Definitely not yet. I want to watch what happens here. We're going to wait for some candles to form. I'm up on gold, up on M and Q. My MES position is starting to catch up now. Let's go back. I'll show you the chart on MES. That's looking
bounce
better.
Signal on my 1 minute. All right. Right at the end of the 15-minute candle. I think this is the low for the bounce.
Yeah, we're right back at VWAP and EVWAP. So I'm with you. But if we get a full candle close below VWAP here, I'm going to be adding to another scalp.
See, the full close on the 1 minute candle at the end of the 15-minute candle, I never believe it.
I see what you mean. And I try to keep an eye on the 15-minute as well. Even 30-minute, I think, can sometimes be a pretty leading indicator. We're right on that 8 EMA right there on the 30-minute as well. I could see the potential for support there, but we just opened the 15-minute candle below the 8 EMA.
You're right.
We're right at that resistance again. That's two candles in the red now from the open, because we've opened the second 2-hour candle now. So, I think it all kind of converges, but let's keep an eye on it here, because this could still just be a VWAP bounce. Happens
Another
all the time.
buy signal. Yeah, I have another buy signal right here.
You got a buy signal there?
On the 1 minute, yeah.
Gotcha.
Which doesn't mean the downtrend is not there. It just means we have to look for 24.45 as being a pullback position. Another buy signal.
Gold up, MES down, NQ down,
Bitcoin down.
dollar rising.
I'm not seeing the dollar rise.
On the 1 minute.
Like I get it. Right.
Yeah.
And it's oversold on the 1 minute. Yeah.
I totally get that that's a little bit slower moving of an asset, or at least index. All right, that's a push above VWAP that could have just confirmed the VWAP long. But remember, this is Chop City here.
Now we have to get above 24.46 for it to regain the bullish momentum.
That's right. Another choppy open. Look at this 15-minute chart. Wick straddling over indicators. No clear signal yet. We're just going to bounce around VWAP. Another reason I'm keeping my risk as tight as possible.
He can be taught.
I mean, you lose enough times, you get to a point where you're like, I don't want to do that anymore. That was looking pretty bullish.
Yep. So now we're above 23, 30, 45. If it closes here, then we're back to bull.
Okay. Nice. That was a very bullish move.
Mike, the big problem with my indicator here that detects the momentum move is that it completely repaints. And so there's no way for me to test it. I can't run any strategies on it. It's totally false.
Bummer.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
That's the issue I've been having with the linear regression tool. I get a lot of repainting errors on the one that I started. So I just continue to run it manually because it's an effective approach, but it's been hard to automate a linear regression reversal strategy.
Even when I run it through like replay and I'm like, okay, let me just plot the trades directly on the chart manually, I still can't do it. And I can't figure out in the code why it's doing it. It's very unfortunate because it's like the best indicator I have for day trading, and I can't test it in any way.
Okay, so that was the second invalidated reversal here. We got a bounce off of VWAP. I opened a scalp long once we closed above VWAP. So I'm a little bit in the red on that first attempt here. If we go to the M&Q chart, you can see my fill was pretty much at the top of that wick. So I'm looking to add a second one if it pulls back a little bit more. Interesting. Right. Gold is really moving now. Now it's starting to trend. So my gold position is well into profit, up $28 now.
You want to switch the accounts tab?
Oh, sorry. My bad.
Yep. Here we go. Eat that tail.
All right, we're reaching for the all-time high again.
Ooh,
on the 2-hour chart, that's looking a little bit better. We've found ourselves outside of the resistance band, and we're starting to move into that territory right below the previous all-time high. If the bulls want it, they'll take it.
Trump and Powell won it. That's all I need on my team. Look, I refresh my chart and then all those signals disappear. So frustrating.
You don't think there's a solution to the repainting problem?
I mean, you know, I don't have a huge amount of time to put into fixing it. Maybe this weekend I'll look into it. Some indicators only work because they repaint. Otherwise, they filter out the signals that you would otherwise get.
Interesting.
And there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you all-time highs.
Well, we just pierced it.
Yeah. We're number one, USA.
All right, so now we have a new all-time high of 24,071. How many more of these can we make today?
Look at that. All right, I'm going to be wrapping up in a couple of minutes.
Yep, we can definitely wrap up here. I'm up on gold, still moving. Down on MES, up on M&Q. I got 2 scalps running there. I think what I'm going to probably do here is just keep scalping for this session. There's just not enough momentum for me to want to take a trend just yet. Maybe if we get a pullback and a bounce off of VWAP again, I might build up a position. But this has been an interesting choppy open for the session. And I want to keep it on the scalps. So just like yesterday, I'll just work towards hitting take profit after take profit.
So will the S&P short cancel out the gold long?
A little bit. I mean, right now the MES is down 33 and the gold is up 30. So those two are basically hedged in a way that makes them neutral. So now what I need to do is just work on the NQ positions in order to get into profit for the day. And then I'll close out those positions towards the end of the session or when their take profit or stop losses hit. And the thinking behind that is like, I don't really know which direction the market's going to go. Sometimes I just want to buy directionality if I think things could be at resistance or could be bullish. My initial sentiment was that it felt like we could be at resistance and maybe we would break lower. But if I make that commitment to choosing one side or the other, I want to just hold it. And then I can hedge against that by choosing another negatively correlated asset in order to make it to where it's not that impactful. Plus, it's just 1 micro, not a huge deal. So I can spend more time just focusing on NQ, building up positions there, putting myself into profit, and just letting these micros execute while I trade.
So let's say they start trending. Then would you cut one of the legs? So you would cut, let's say, S&P, and then let gold ride to recover the loss.
I'm gonna let it go to the session. The idea is like my ability to predict markets is only so good, and I definitely can't predict what's going to happen the whole session. Now, by the end of this session, we may have found a new high, but still retraced back to where we opened. And if that's the case, then I could basically close my ES position in at break even. And then for the gold position, that already has a trailing stop attached to it. So that one's going to take profits regardless. It's just chasing by 5 points.
I understand. Okay, so the best case scenario for you is the gold takes the profit and the ES retraces. And if it doesn't happen, you're not any real worse off or anything like that. But if that does happen, which happens often, you're golden. Plus you do the scalping on the NQ, which is what you would normally do.
And it's already working. And because of how choppy these markets have been, I'll stick with the scalping. I'll just turn over a bunch of trades that way. I'm probably going to look for wherever the next reversal is. If we have a reversal here at the new all-time high, it's probably going to be pretty big. Once everybody decides, okay, this is the spot where I want to take profit, it should show up on the chart very similar to this reversal right here. So that's an opportunity for me to take 5 points off of NQ, maybe 10 points off of MNQ, and build up some really small scalping positions and take a little bit of that move off the table without really having to worry about where I think the overall trend of the day is. But while I'm doing that, I still want to capture even a small trend in another asset. And right now gold is giving me that potential.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
All
right, guys. That's it for us today here at Price Action Live. As always, we trade from Tuesday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, to show you the awesome power of the Traders Pulse platform. I would not be doing this but for the Traders Pulse software. I find it to be fantastic and a promise for a better future. If you guys are interested in getting your own account, you can feel free to go to traderspulse.io and start your trial, but also take advantage of the coupon code you see on your screen, prop scaling 20, in order to get 20% off your plan, including add-ons as well. So it's useful even if you're using Traders Pulse. You definitely want to try out the platform. You don't want to pan on it. You don't want to miss out on it, because we're adding features day in and day out, because we want to be the best advanced trade execution engine known to man. And we are well on our way in that process. We'll leave you guys here for today, and we'll be back next Tuesday morning. And as always, we wish you happy trading.
Happy trading, everyone.